Hello students, this is Muhammad Atif Jamil from Mechanical Engineering Section, University Polytechnic, AMU Aligarh. The topic of my today's lecture is riveted joints from the subject machine design. Let's begin with the introduction. A rivet, as shown in the figure, is a short cylindrical element with a head integral with it. The central portion is known as shank or body, and the lowermost portion is known as tail. The rivets are primarily used for making permanent fastenings between the plates in structural work, shipbuilding, bridges, fluid tanks or containers, and boiler shells, etc. Riveted joints are widely used for joining light metals. Riveting method. How riveting is carried out between the two plates to be joined. So, in the first step, the two plates which are to be joined together are drilled and then separated to remove any chips or burrs between them. In the next step, the rivet is introduced into the plates and the original rivet head is backed up by a heavy bar as shown in this figure. This is the original rivet head. It is supported by a backing up bar. A die is placed against the tail and blows are applied by a hammer. Thus, the point, or we can say a second head, is formed as shown in this figure. You can see an identical head is formed onto the other side of the rivet. This was the original head and this one is the new head formed, which is known as point. Riveting may be done manually or by a riveting machine using some pneumatic power source or hydraulic power source. Alright. Next is types of rivet heads. So this figure shows different types of rivet heads that are practically used in different applications. First one is snap head, then pan head, mushroom head, different categories of countersunk heads, and the last one is flat head. As I told you that different heads are used in different applications, the snap head is generally used for structural work, and the countersunk heads are mainly used in shipbuilding, where the primary requirement is of flush surfaces or flat surfaces. Among these, the pan head has the maximum strength because of its shape. Also, the dimensions of different sections of these rivet heads are taken as a particular proportion of the main diameter or the shank diameter, or we can say the body diameter. It is denoted by small d. For example, in case of snap head, the head diameter is taken as 1.6 times the shank diameter, whereas its height is taken as 0.7 times the diameter of shank. Length will depend upon the thickness of plates to be joined. That's why it is denoted by a double arrow. In case of pan head, you can see the shape of the head is like a trapezium. So the dimension of the shorter length or shorter end is taken same as that of the diameter of the shank, whereas its lower portion is taken as 1.6 times the shank diameter. The height remains the same in this case also. It is 0.7 d. In case of mushroom head, you can see the diameter of the head becomes larger as compared to the pan head or snap head, and this time it is taken as 2.2 times the diameter of the shank. In case of counter heads, a conical section is common in all the categories. The angle varies from one category to another category. In first case, it is 120 degree. In case of flat countersunk head, it is 90 degree. Uh, it may also be 60 degree, and in case of round countersunk head, this angle is 60 degree, with the difference that head is rounded now. And in case of flat head, the diameter of the flat section, or we can say the flat head, is taken as 2 times the diameter of the shank, and its thickness is quite less, quite small. It is 0.25 times the shank diameter. Types of riveted joints. The riveted joints may be broadly classified as lap joint and butt joint. Lap joint, as the name suggests, is the one in which one plate overlaps the other plate and the two plates are joined using a rivet. Here you can see the one plate is overlapping the other. Whereas in case of butt joint, the two plates are in alignment with each other, that is touching or butting each other, and a cover plate is placed either on one side or both sides of the main plates. The cover plate is then riveted together with the main plates. Here you can see these two plates are aligned, or they are touching each other or butting each other. That's why the name butt joint. The thin plate is known as the strap or cover plate. This may be used on only on one side or on both sides, depending upon the strength requirement and size of the structure. And finally, the cover plate is riveted or joined using rivets with the main plates. One rivet is here and one rivet is here. The riveted joints may be subclassified in various categories, the first of which is single riveted lap joint. So a riveted lap joint is already clear to you from this figure. That a lap joint means the plates would be overlapping each other. The new term here is the single, the word single. So single means there will be only one row of rivets, although there may be n number of rivets in that row, but there will always be only a single row of rivets. Here you can see this is the row of rivets. It is also shown here. The markings are shown here. One row rivet, second rivet, third rivet, and so on. But the main thing to note here is that there is only one rivet row. That's why the name single riveted lap joint. The next category is double riveted chain lap joint. Now there are two new terms, double and chain. So double is very obvious. Double riveted lap joint means there will be two rows of rivets now. One row is here and the second row is here. I will repeat. There may be n number of rivets in each of these rows, but there will be a total of two rows of rivets. That's why the name double riveted lap joint. Now, what is meant by chain here? Chain means if the rivet in a particular row is exactly opposite to the rivet available in its adjacent row, then we will call it a chain configuration, or the complete name will be chain riveted joint. So here the rivet available in this row is exactly opposite to the rivet available in its adjacent row, and same is true for this rivet. It is exactly opposite to the rivet available in its adjacent row. The term chain will be more clear to you in upcoming slides when we will discuss its second category, that is double riveted chain, or sorry, double riveted zigzag lap joint. Here it is. So double is already clear. Double means there will be again two rows of rivets. One row is here, and this is the next row. Zigzag means the rivet available in a particular row will be exactly midway between the rivets available in its adjacent row. So if the total distance between these two rivets is P, or these two rivets is P, so the center of this rivet is 0.5 P away from this center and 0.5 P distance away from this center. That's why we are saying that the rivet available in this row is exactly in the middle of the rivets available in its adjacent row. That's why the name zigzag. If we consider another row, let's say the name becomes triple riveted zigzag lap joint. So what will happen? One row, second row, third row will be somewhere here. But due to zigzag configuration, the rivet available in the third row will be here and will be here. So the path will be somewhat like this, and so on. So because it is a zigzag path, that's why the actual name of this configuration of riveting is known as zigzag joint. Lap is already clear because the plates are overlapping each other. That's why we are saying that this is a lap joint. So the complete name of this kind of joint becomes double riveted zigzag lap joint. So before discussing the other categories, let's understand some terms associated with the riveted joints. First one is pitch. It is the distance between the center of two rivets of a particular row. Here it is shown by the term P, denoted by the term P. The distance between the two rivets of a particular row is known as pitch, and it remains the same for the complete structure. Say in this configuration, if this distance is P, the distance between these two rivets will also be P. That's why the total it is splitted into two parts, 0.5 P and 0.5 P, and total becomes P again. Transverse pitch. It is the perpendicular distance between the center lines of the successive rows of multi-riveted lap joints. So it is denoted by the term PR here. It is the distance between the two adjacent rows of rivets. Notice the difference. Simple pitch is the distance between the two rivets of a particular row, whereas the transverse pitch is the distance between the center lines of the two rows of rivets, two adjacent rows of rivets, and is denoted by PR. Third one is diagonal pitch. This term is specifically related to zigzag configuration of rivets. It is the distance between the centers of the rivets in adjacent rows of zigzag riveted joint. In case of zigzag riveted joint, this distance is known as diagonal pitch. That is the distance between the two rivets of adjacent rows, because they are in a zigzag configuration. So if we join a line between the centers of two rivets of adjacent row, it will always be an inclined line. That's why we are saying it a diagonal pitch. So in case of if we move back to the simple chain arrangement, the distance between the successive rows is PR here, and the distance between two adjacent rivets of two different rows will also be PR. So in case of chain configuration, diagonal pitch will be same as that of the uh, transfer switch, or you can say there will be no diagonal pitch. Alright, and the last term is margin or marginal pitch. It is the distance between the center of the rivet hole to the nearest edge of the plate. It is shown here. 1.5D is actually the margin. It is empirically taken as 1.5 times the rivet diameter, and it is denoted by M. In actual practice, it is denoted by M, and the numerical value is taken as 1.5 times the diameter of the rivet. See, it is the distance taken from the center of the rivet to the nearest edge. Similarly, if we consider this rivet, the distance between the center of this rivet and uh, the nearest edge of the plate is 1.5D. So this one is also margin, this one is also margin. Clear? So let's see the next category: single riveted single step butt joint. Now this is a subcategory of the butt joint. Okay, why we are saying it is butt joint? Because the main plates, this one and this one, are in alignment with each other. They are touching each other, and a cover plate is used to join them. That's why the name butt joint. Single step because we are using a single cover that is only on one side, and single riveted, the name again, the single. See in the figure, uh, apparently it looks like there are two rows of rivets, but these two rows of rivets are corresponding to the cover only. If we consider a particular main plate, this plate or this plate, the row of rivets is only one. Okay, consider this main plate. So this row of rivet corresponds to this main plate only. Similarly, this row of rivet corresponds to this main plate only. That's why the name still remains the single riveted. The name single, double, triple or quadruple is given on the basis of number of rows of rivets associated with the main plate, because in case of lap joint there is no strap. So the number of rows of rivets corresponding to a particular plate remains the same for the other plate, or you can say one plate acts as a cover for the other plate. That's why uh, a single in case of single riveted lap joint, the figure shows only a single row, but in case of single riveted butt joint, there will always two rows available in the figure, but one row will be corresponding to one main plate and the other row will be corresponding to other main plate. That's why the name still remains the single. Now if we move on to a double riveted single step butt joint, what will happen? You may have an idea before I move to my next slide. Now single riveted double step butt joint, what is the new term here? Here the new term is double strap. So double strap means this time we are going to use two covers. Yeah, that is covers on both sides of the butt joint. That's why the name double strap. Single riveted is still because there is only one row of rivet corresponding to a particular main plate. But the double strap, the name is given double strap because this time we are going to use strap or covers on both sides of the main plates. One cover is here and this one is the next cover. So requirement of one cover or two cover again depends on the uh, size of structure, or we can say the strength requirement. Now double riveted double step chain butt joint, we have combined all the three things. Now double riveted because there are two rows corresponding to a particular main plate. This one is a main plate and the second main plate is here. So in first main plate there are two rows of rivets. One it is the first row and this one is the second row. Similarly in second main plate the first row is here and the second row is here. That's why the complete name is double riveted. Double strap because we are using covers on both the sides of the riveted joint. And chain configuration because the rivet available in a particular row is exactly opposite to the rivet available in its adjacent row. Moving on to the next category, double riveted double strap zigzag butt joint. The difference between the previous one and this one is only that in previous case the rivets were exactly opposite to the rivets of its adjacent row, but in this case the rivet available in a particular row is exactly in the middle of the rivets available in its adjacent row. That's why the name becomes zigzag. But because the two mini plates are not overlapping each other, rather they are touching or butting each other. And double riveted because there are only two rows of rivets in a particular main plate in first case and in second case. The configuration remains the same, that's why the name double riveted. And the complete name becomes double riveted double strap butt joint. Some new terms are all can also be seen in the figure. T is the plate thickness in all the categories right from the beginning. Thickness of main plate is denoted by T. T here, T here. Similarly, T here, T here. In case of single riveted single step butt joint, this one is T. A new term is introduced here is T1. So T1 is the thickness of the cover. And in case of double step butt joint, there are again two terms. Small t denotes the thickness of main plate, and T1 and T2 or both may be used as T1 or both may be used as T2. This is the thickness of cover plates. See, depending upon the strength requirement at a particular side, the thickness of cover plates may be different. Like this may be T1 and this may be T2, or both may be T1 or both may be T2. So it depends upon the application or requirement. One more thing to note here is we have shown XX in all the figures. So XX is basically a plane along which we are cutting a section to draw the elevation view. See, this is the plan view of this structure. So if we cut a section along this plane, the elevation will be look like this. In case of single riveted lap joint, because the rivets are hidden, all the rivets are hidden behind the first rivet, or we can say the rivet along this section. That's why in the plan view we will be able to see only one rivet. But in case of similarly in case of double riveted joints, when we cut a section along this plane, there will be two rivets visible in the plan, one corresponding to this one and the second corresponding to this one, and we will not be able to see view these rivets because they are hidden behind these sectional rivets. All right. In case of chain riveted joint, say if we cut a section along this plane, so this rivet will be hidden, or rivet will be shown by bold lines, but because this rivet is somewhat offset from this plane, that's why this portion is still hidden. That's why we have shown it using dotted lines. So this is all about the rivets, introduction, types of rivets, riveting method, different configurations of riveted joints or riveting. So I now I'm open to questions. Please go ahead.